So yes, we absolutely have to talk about this one because there's a brand new Cyberpunk game in town and it is absolutely blowing away the gaming community right now. And I've had the chance to go hands-on with this one. And let me tell you what, if you have not heard about the Ascent, you will be hearing about this game. Guaranteed. I have been absolutely enjoying this game so far. It has really blown me away. But we're going to talk about also some comparisons to Cyberpunk 2077 in this video and how this game right here actually has some stuff in it that Cyberpunk 2077 is missing. I kid you not. So these features that are in the Ascent are highly requested to hopefully make their way eventually in Cyberpunk 2077. So let's dive into this right now. Hey everyone, what's happening? Open World Games here. Hope you're doing good. And we are talking about the Ascent. And you start off in this game, of course, with the character creator. You create your character here who is kind of in a bad spot in his life, trying to work his way up the ranks, I guess you would say. And that's really kind of the theme of this game, going from the underworld up and up and up and making your way through the character progression. And yes, it is an action RPG that is absolutely stunning. It is a twin stick shooter on top of all of that, but it does have those RPG action, undertones to it, I guess you would say, on top of everything else, but it plays beautifully. That's the one thing. Don't be discouraged. If you're not into twin stick shooters at all, please give this one a chance because I have been absolutely blown away by the gameplay and there's been some really cool moments so far with my time with the Ascent. But yeah, just playing the game so far, I've seen and already heard the comparisons to Cyberpunk 2077, given that they are both Cyberpunk themed. This one has a really fully built up world, and just exploring some of the hub spaces in this game have left my jaw dropped. Like, it is absolutely stunning what they have going on the screen here. And guess what? This game is actually made by 12 people. I think it was made within 3 years. So I think that just goes to say that developers in the future really need to pay attention to this and know what they can actually create and not overwhelm themselves. And I'm looking at Cyberpunk 2077 in particular. This game is by no means like 100+ hour game. It is about 20 hours, but I feel like these developers knew exactly what they could handle, and that's the important thing because you get a really fully realized world here. And as you can see, the crowd density is just beautiful. Like, this feels like a truly lived in space when you are exploring the world. And yeah, this is an action RPG, and also there is loot to collect, gear that will upgrade your character. You'll be able to get yourself some cool weapons and that sort of thing. But yeah, the action itself, the gameplay is so smooth and so well thought out as you go through the progression tree. You start off small, of course, with one little measly pistol, but it's still even fun there because it feels so responsive and tight. I was so impressed. I'm like, this is a twin stick shooter game? This really plays nicely considering, but as you can see, it's a little bit different in that it is absolutely stunning. Now, if you're wondering what I'm playing on the Xbox Series X. It is also on PC and it's available through Xbox Game Pass as well. But just because this game is a top-down twin stick shooter type experience doesn't mean you're going to be missing out on those details of the characters, because once you start talking to characters, they zoom in. They have fully voiced characters that are animated and very, very cool looking. By the way, the graphics really hold up. I was not expecting this at all from this game. But yeah, as we continue onward, we got to talk more about some of those features that are missing from Cyberpunk that actually made their way into this one. And this feature right here has been highly requested ever since Cyberpunk came out. You can go to a surgeon in the Ascent, I kid you not, and just fully customize your character. Of course, you're going to have skills and augmentations that you can add to your character. The augmentations are essentially powers that you will be getting throughout your journey, but you can actually adjust the biology of your character. That means you can go in, change the face, the gender, You can change up your tattoos, your clothing, everything, your hairstyle. Simple things that have been missing from Cyberpunk 2077 are clearly in the Ascent. And I was like, hell yes, that's what I'm talking about. That's all, that's what we wanted in Cyberpunk 2077. And then, of course, you have the density of the city. In my opinion, when you are exploring this city, it is really fully realized. The detail is astonishing. And of course, you saw the density of the crowds earlier. And as you're exploring, you can actually go into these interiors. There's a lot of interiors to explore. And you can see how you can actually interact with the crowds. People, you bump into people. They have a reaction, an actual animation. You will see that. And it just makes it feel that much more realistic. And that's something I absolutely love about this game and just exploring the hub space. Now, of course, you can get in here and progress through the game and, of course, upgrade your weapons, purchase brand new weapons. That's what we're seeing right here, is the ability to go in here and actually purchase brand new machine guns and sidearms. And there's a bunch more stuff to be had there as well. But, if you really love your weapon, you can go to the upgrade vendor dude here in the city and say, you know what, dude? Can you just upgrade my current existing weapon? And yeah, there's also weapon skins on top of everything as well, which again is very, very cool to see. Now, as we keep going here, let's talk a little bit more about some of the encounters that I experienced in this game. What I really like about the theme of this game is you're basically trying to make it and survive. Isn't that just the theme of nowadays? And it shows the disparity between poverty and the wealthy. I think they do a really, really good job of depicting someone that's kind of like trying to make their way in a cyberpunk city that isn't meant for fairness whatsoever. And you're going to be upgrading your way from the sewers to the cityscapes. And then there's also a more prominent looking area in this game as well. I really don't want to spoil too much with this game because I think you guys want to explore it for yourselves. But yeah, I have been really impressed with what they have done here. Also with the visual effects. As you can see, some of these battles are absolutely chaotic. Now, what's interesting about this one is it has some, note the word some here, Gears of War type mechanics in that you can actually take cover in some of these battles that you undergo, and then you can actually shoot over the cover as well. And the rewards are definitely there so far as I explore the game. As you can see right here, we just unlocked a brand new augmentation. It's a reward for completing this boss battle that we just went through. And that boss battle was actually a ton of fun for being at the beginning of the game. Definitely made you maneuver. So yeah, this game has a focus on action, more so in my opinion than the RPG side of things, although that is very much there. But with the RPG mechanics, with getting the new rewards and systems in place, it always translates usually into the action department. You're going to be finding yourself using the tools that you actually get. There's a lot more active things that you get in this game versus passive things compared to most action RPGs. And I personally think that is a really, really cool thing to have in this game for sure. Now, yeah, I'm trying to figure out the abilities here. I remember this moment. I was like, oh God, I can't figure it out. But yeah, you can use your augmentations in battle. I think you can equip up to 2. And of course, there's a lot more to unlock. As you can see, you can get yourself into some situations, and if you don't use your roll, you're going to be dead. So maneuvering through this game is going to be super important. And of course, you're going to be getting grenades on top of everything else. And we're going to be using our augmentation right there. You could just see the power behind that. And that's one thing that I really appreciate about this game, by the way, is you can fill your powers. You can fill the weapons in this game. Despite it being a twin stick shooter, you can very much fill what they were trying to tell you with your weapons. It really translates well on screen through the controller or whatever. If you're on your mouse or keyboard, what have you, you will really feel powerful as you keep going into this game. So yeah, but there's also some downtime to be had in this game. It's not just all shooting. You will be able to explore this hub space, as you can see right here, how absolutely dense and packed it is. tons of personality in the game. You can talk to multiple characters, get yourself some side quests if that's something you want to do. And as you can see, there's some cinematics, which if you discover a new area, it really showcases this area. They don't have to be shy about zooming the camera into a lot of the detailed places that they have created, despite this being a, I guess you would say an isometric top-down perspective for this game. They are like, hey, you know what? We have an amazing engine that we're proud of, and they should definitely be proud of this one. But yeah, there it is, the Ascent. So far from what I have seen from the gaming community overall, this game has been very, very well received. And again, it's like on Xbox Game Pass, so if you have that, just boot it up, try it, and I think you're gonna have a ton of fun. I know I am having a ton of fun. By the way, I should have mentioned this earlier. It is co-op. It does have 4-player co-op in this game. So you can play as a single-player game if you want to, or a co-op action RPG twin-stick shooter. So go for it. Let me know what you guys prefer, single-player or co-op. But I feel like a lot of my audience really, really does dig the single-player stuff. And this game definitely works as a single-player game. But yeah, some really cool stuff included in this one that, again, I hope makes its way into Cyberpunk 2077. We'll see what happens. But there's my opinion about the Ascent. It has come out of the middle of nowhere. I'm sure some of you have heard about it, but some of you may be caught off guard by this one. Check it out. I really do think it's going to be worth your time. But thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more Cyberpunk 2077, The Ascent, and more open world gaming goodness. And I will see you all next time. Take care.